From Park Center High School in Brooklyn Park, we proudly present the 3rd annual Park Center Holiday Invitational. We've got 2 games coming your way. The first features the undefeated Elk River Elks against the 8-1 Orono Spartans. Elk River number 4 in Class 4A, Orono number 6 in Class 3A. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by Alex Nagel. And Alex, you observed both these teams yesterday in the triple header. Elk River, a lot of folks are wondering how they would manage life without Abby Scheid, and so far they're unblemished and they're on a roll.
Well, I tell you what, Mike, you're right. I did have a chance to watch Elk River last night, and I came away very impressed with this team. Just to give you an idea, Gabi Haack, their senior guard, personally engineered a 9-0 opening run for the Elks last night. That really got Elk River off to the kind of start that they needed in a tough game against Park Center last night.
She has transformed her game in an explosive way, second in the state in scoring at 30.5 points per game. Almost unheard of for someone who was a supporting player last year.
Well, and the interesting thing about Gabi Haack is that she's not only a perimeter threat, she's very good down low. It can do the dirty work like rebounding, getting that offensive putback, and she really showed that last night.
Orono had a rough going against Champlain Park. However, they did not have their head coach, Lavessa Glover, in her first year, fell ill. She's here today, but Orono still managing and still a very talented group. It's almost like Ellen Weesey is still here.
Well, they really have the blueprint in place. I mean, they've got all the pieces in place. They've got the tall front line, and they've got some good young guards. It's just a matter of putting everything together, I think, for Orono.
And they were undefeated until going up against Champlain Park last night, and a big reason for that is Tori Andrew, the 3-point sharpshooter.
She really can. I tell you what, she didn't hesitate to let loose from the behind the arc last night, and I expect that she'll do again the same thing today.
What should we look from Orono as they try to rebound after a tough loss?
Well, I think for Orono, the key has to be a little more consistency with their half-court offense. They really struggled yesterday against a lengthy and athletic Champlain Park team, and I think today the focus has to be getting some more consistency in their half-court offense.
A battle of top 10 teams awaits us. We'll have the starting lineups in a moment. You're watching high school girls basketball. And Elk River takes the floor. Mike and Alex here with you. Park Center hosting the 3rd annual Park Center Holiday Invitational. And what has become a really nice glimpse of Northwest Suburban basketball, not just the Northwest Suburban Conference, but teams in this part of the state.
Well, they've had some interesting programs here over the last couple years since this event started, and I think having teams like Orono and Minnetonka here kind of help, add to the whole picture.
Orono previously took part in the St. Olaf Invitational, decided to come up here. A little bit closer for them, but certainly not a reduction in quality. Let's take a look at the starting 5. For the Elk River Elks, it's number 2, Ava Kramer, the 5'6" senior guard. Number 25, Sydney Wentland, the 6-foot senior forward. Number 31, Danielle Lockmiller, the 5'10" senior guard. Number 32, Gabi Haack, the 5'9" senior guard. And number 45, Madia Person, the 6-foot junior forward. Orono will start. Number 5, Anna Hughes, the 5'7" junior forward. Number 22, Madeline Loader, the 5'10" junior guard. Number 23, Tori Andrew, the 5'10" senior guard. Number 24, Jordan Case, the 5'5" sophomore guard. And number 33, Natalie Smarin, the 6'2" junior guard. Both schools with first-year head coaches. Although Jeremy DiGiovanni at Elk River had a history with this group, went up north for a few years. Then he and his wife decided that Elk River was their home, and it was Reed Cowett, Elk River's prior head coach, who gave Jeremy the recommendation.
Yeah, I tell you what, I look at this Elk River team, and having watched them last night, I was just so impressed with that squad. I mean, you have got a lot of experience on that team. They're a very senior-laden team. They've got the experience. They've been in these big situations before, and this, I think, could be the year where they finally get over the hump and shed that bridesmaid role.
Of course, if they get to state, they would likely have to encounter Hopkins or Eastview, but we'll worry about that when we get to March. We have to figure out who those 8 slots will go to. And Orono, new head coach, Ellen Weesey, took an assistant job at St. Thomas. In her place is Lavessa Glover, who has a lot of experience, played at Wisconsin Green Bay, and bounced around several coaching and administrative jobs before settling here. And She's a Wisconsin prodigy, a native of Miami, but really excited to be leading a new group of kids.
Well, I think this is a perfect fit for her. You know, she missed being around younger kids and having an opportunity to coach them, and she gets that chance here with this good Orono group, and I think she can do a lot of good things at Orono.
And here's a taste of her basketball acumen. In high school, she played against the likes of Sylvia Fowles and blocked her once. Now, Sylvia was able to score a putback, but Lavessa likes to gloss over that information.
Oh, sure.
And in college, she scored her 1,000th career point at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Green Bay and Butler were members of the Horizon League at the time.
Yep.
So Lavessa knows her stuff. Orono wearing the navy. Elk River wearing the white. We're underway. And a bit of a scramble on our first possession. But Elk River recovers. Person too far underneath. Lockmiller goes up and gets our first basket.
Elk River really showed their rebounding prowess last night against Park Center, Mike.
Lockmiller doesn't score a lot. In fact, outside of Haack, not a lot of offensive options, but don't count out the supporting players for the Elks. Orono. They score as Natalie Smarin uses a hesitation move to full effect. Smarin averaging 10.9, 3 on the way is off the mark. Rebound goes to Madeline Loader. Loader will take it herself, but she comes up strong on the layup. Person looking for the outlet, and it was picked off. Jordan Case out to Tori Andrew, who's shooting 43% from three-point range. She fires, can't bank it in. That was a contested shot, but Smarin collects the O-board. And Orono will try again. Case, top of the key, she misses. Another offensive rebound. And Orono showing some offensive rebounding skills early.
Well, they're definitely looking more confident here in their half-court offense in the opening moments of this game than they did yesterday against Champlin Park.
Nothing to show for it, though, as Smarin came up strong on that attempt. Elk River tries to go to back door. Pass was a little off. And a hard shot from Sydney Wentland. Hughes decides not to attack. And Wentland, nice post defense there.
Sydney Wentland, what a game she had last night. She drilled back-to-back threes in that .1 game last night against Park Center. So she's not only a threat in the paint, she's also a threat behind the arc as well.
A game that Elk River won 71-66. Andrew used up the dribble, needs help. Andrew with the skip inside, and it looked like Lockmiller got the block. Once again, Orono just scrapping for second chances. But Elk River doing a good job at intercepting passing lanes, and the result so far has been a stalemate.
Well, like you said, Mike, Orono's doing a much better job with their offensive rebounding, certainly today, than what they did yesterday.
And Elk River's countering with the ability to get to the passing lane, and Tori Andrew slices through a hole. I thought that shot was going nowhere, but she gets Orono a 4-2 lead.
One thing I want to see if Gabi Haack goes off early like she did last night.
She hasn't had too many touches yet, and she won't there. Andrew with the steal. Open three. Bullseye. Madeline Loader. Loader just 1 of 10 from the three-point line, and Jeremy DiGiovanni will call a quick timeout.
Well, good job by Loader draining that three out there on the right wing. She was left all alone. She made Elk River pay for that. And just like that, Spartans are up 7-2 here early on. Far cry from last night when Elk River got out to a 9-0 lead against Park Center.
And conversely for Orono, Champlain Park ran them out of the building.
Yeah.
A couple of scratches we want to let you know about for Elk River. Kelsey Cox will not play today. She jammed her thumb. And Matea Rice is not here right now. She's on vacation, but Lavessa Glover did want us to note that her life goal is to be an ambassador for the United States. In what capacity, I don't know, but a U.S. ambassador.
I think that's a pretty cool ambition.
And if you're wondering about college commitments, Gabi Haack will go to Bradley University next year, and Tori Andrew will join the Ivy League as she attends Yale. Ava Kramer drives, hits the floor, but scores anyway. Kramer averaging 11.1 points per game this year. Sparren recovers. Case to Andrew. Tries the skip to Loader. Got it.
Well, the Spartans, so far anyway, Mike, showing a lot more efficiency in their half-court offense here in the opening moments. And another turnover.
Remember, Orono was the #1 team for most of the season last year. Got to the semifinals in Class 3A. So don't let that loss to Champlain Park fool you. This is a Spartan team we could easily see back in the state tournament bracket. I take that back. Orono was upset last year by Hutchinson. It was 2 years ago they made the semis. Right. And speaking of upsets, Forest Lake did just that last night to Holy Angels.
Wow.
Out at the Hill Murray tournament. But wow. Forest Lake, they only have one loss so far this season, the Suburban East. I know you talk about the Northwest Suburban a lot, but the teams out east are really showing their stuff this year.
Yep.
Forest Lake, Woodbury, Cretin-Durham Hall, East Ridge.
I was impressed with that Cretin-Durham Hall team. Saw them play in one of the Thanksgiving tournaments.
The battle in Section 4 is going to be really exciting to see. There's going to be a dogfight to get that state tournament berth. Haack faked the three. Wentland takes one for real, can't hit it. Haack chases down the rebound. Hughes over to Lockmiller. Kramer got the bounce.
Good job by Kramer.
It looked like she was out of position, but she puts it in.
She had to improvise a little bit, but got that one-handed shot to go.
Basketball is all about improvisation. And Madeline Loader had an open lane. She'll shoot two.
The one thing I'm noticing about Orono here in the opening minutes of this game, Mike, is that they're much more aggressive driving the ball to the hoop. They didn't show that yesterday against Champlain Park, but they're showing it today.
Loader shooting 73% from the free throw line this year. In the words of Lavessa Glover, has an uncanny ability and great court vision. She feels Loader has Division I potential. Makes both free throws there. And Loader a junior, so maybe a few college scouts will be watching this tape and taking notes.
As they should be.
Wentland is fouled. She'll go to the line.
Wentland at 6 foot, senior, has a lot of versatility. I mean, you picture her as somebody being a forward who can only do stuff down low. But she can also drive with the ball. She's a very good dribbler. Very quick off that first dribble.
Wentland averaging 10.2 points per game this year. This is a senior-heavy Elk River team. All 5 starters are seniors. 3 of them have been on this program for the last 3 years. As starters, I should say.
And I think that experience could pay big dividends come February and March.
Wentland blanks on the free throw line, though. And Loader was blocked by Wentland. Although over the last few years, St. Michael Albertville has stood in Elk River's way in Section 8. Indications suggest those two teams will go at it again. But we still have a couple of months before we get to that point. Loader gets around Wendland, but too strong. Elk River on the attack. Kramer cannot finish. Jordan Case with strong defense there, but Kramer swoops in for the poke, and Elk River gets the turnover. Wendland kicks out to Haack for 3. Off the mark, rebound Smarin. Loader fouled by Wendland, and I believe that's her second.
Could be the first problem for...
No, it's her first.
Oh. See, the last thing that Jeremy DiGiovanni wants to have happen is to get Wendland in foul trouble early. They can ill afford to lose her.
And Orono, you know them as this program that Ellen Weesey helped build. Andrew lost it her first year with that group that included Megan Mandel and Danielle Jorgensen. They won a total of 4 games. And now they're a perennial in Class 3A. Haack to the rim.
I tell you,
and she'll get a chance at 3.
That's the Gabi Haack I saw last night. She's so tough to stop. And for somebody, you know, who's primarily a guard, like I said, she can do so many things down low, and penetration is one of them, as you saw there.
Haack is one of 3 sets of sisters on Elk River's squad.
Lydia Haack.
Yep, and the others
Freshman.
Are the Ingebrigtsens and the Kramers, Julia and Ava. It's 11-9 in favor of Orono, with 10:33 left in the first half. Loader thought about it, goes to Smarin instead. Smarin lost the dribble, and Elk River scoops it up. It's Wendland. She's going to try to take it herself, and she succeeds. Sydney Wendland gets on the board, and we're tied at 11.
Shows you how quick Wendland really is.
And she's not even the fastest player on the team, in the words of Jeremy DiGiovanni. Traveling violation on Loader.
Wendland is committed to Denver.
Haack through, but comes up strong there. Tori Andrew with the board. She's looking to run. Transition 3 is short. Orono cannot save it.
DiGiovanni calls Wendland. She's one of the strongest and most athletic girls around. She is a dominant player on the boards and has the ability to score often in the post, as we saw right there.
Orono calls timeout with 9:37 left in the first half. And another fun factoid involving Elk River is Gabi Haack. She loves watching scary movies. I wonder what her favorite one is.
I don't know, but I've had my moments with scary movies.
And then you wake up and realize you have to call games with me.
Right.
We'll get to know a little more about Gabi Haack. I had a chance to speak with her before this game, and so we'll run an interview I had at halftime. With this JV varsity format, it gives us time to chat with the players and give them a chance to show who they are, and she credits her father for cultivating her passion for basketball. Elk River 9-0. How surprising is it to see them undefeated after graduating a Miss Basketball finalist last year in Abby Scheid?
Well,
look at that hustle and the scrappiness of Daniel Lockmiller to give Elk River the first lead.
Not necessarily that surprised. I mean, again, remember, this is a senior-laden team that has been through the battles before. And I think that plays a big part in it.
They collapsed on the post, and Smarin had nowhere to go. Kramer out to Wentland. Haack curls, drives, banks in the runner. Gabi Haack up to 5, and the Elks are on a 9-0 run, if I'm correct.
Very quiet, very efficient 9-0 run at that, too.
Hughes kicks out. Smarin wants to go inside. Hughes gets the O-board. Elk River's defense adjusting quickly after Orono got out to a quick start. Case kicks out to Andrew. Andrew averaging 20 points a game, if you're wondering.
There's, almost Kramer got that.
It was deflected by Kramer, but a sloppy bounce pass.
Looks like the foul is going to go on Gabi Haack.
And that bails out Orono, but they have to be careful. Elk River is sniffing out their passes here.
Champlain Park did such a good job of that yesterday, getting into the passing lanes, really disrupting the Spartans' half-court offense.
Abe was questioning the use of my metaphor. Maybe he has a case of the sniffles. Here's Loader. Backdoor to Smarin. Got it.
Good patience by Orono on that one.
Lavisa Glover likens Natalie Smarin to the character Smeagol, who you may know if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. I'll explain in a minute. Kramer for 3. Yes!
Well, Kramer coming alive on offense today here, Mike. Last night it was the Haack and Wentland show. Right now it's Ava Kramer.
Kramer up to 7. DeGiovanni calls her the energetic, speedy spark plug of the Elks. Andrew for 3. Almost went in. And the Elks have a chance to extend their lead. And Wentland just committed one of Tony Gear's cardinal sins. Don't pass
the ball to the opposing coach.
Or your own coach, for that matter.
That's just as bad.
Rick Glover was ready for it. Of course, she played a lot of posts down low, so she's used to loose balls. And Glover had nothing but pleasant things to say about everyone on her Orono team. You brought up a name, and she could tell you about how much that kid impresses her. So she's really excited to get into coaching. And she worked at another job for a few months and said really missed getting to work with kids, and that's what brought her here.
And like I said, I think this is the perfect fit and opportunity for her.
Tori Andrew clutches and takes it to the rack. It certainly helps in the case of both coaches that you're inheriting 2 highly talented programs. And who knows what Orono would have done had Hutchinson not upset them. Look at Wentland with a pump fake.
And that's that quick off-the-dribble move that Wentland has.
Elk River maintains their 5-point lead. 20-15 our score. Andrew inside to Smarin, and she's fouled by Madia Person. If you're wondering why Glover calls Smarin Smeagol, it's because she goes for every rebound. And without a player like her, Orono wouldn't be as successful as they are.
At 6'2", she certainly has the ability to get down there and grab those rebounds.
Smarin averaging nearly 11 points a game and 12.5 rebounds. Splits there. Smarin shooting 70% from the free throw line.
Lydia Haack, number 11, is in there now for the Elks.
And that means both Hawks are on the floor. It's okay, Jeremy Giovanni struggled early on with that pronunciation. Ava Kramer tried to drive in traffic, and Smarin rips away the rebound. Loader to Andrew for 3.
Boom.
Yes! It's only a matter of time before Andrew finds her three-point stroke.
She struggled with it a little bit yesterday. Here's Kramer.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. Andrew averages about 4 3-pointers a game. In the win over Chanhassen, she hit 8 threes.
Jeez.
Against De La Salle, didn't hit a single one. So she worked out to her average, just in peaks and valleys. But that's all right. 20-19 in a close, or quick, close, fast-moving game. Andrew tries to spin past Haack. That is a traveling violation.
Took one too many steps down there.
She lost it and picked it back up. You can't do that. There's Lydia Haack with her first touch. Goes over to Lockmiller. Lydia is bumped by Hughes, and Hughes will be called for the foul.
Lydia Haack, only 5'3", young freshman. Probably has still plenty of time and room to grow, which I'm sure she will.
In the Park Center game that you were referencing last night, as Lockmiller can't hook up with Lydia Haack, Giovanni likened it to a playoff game.
It really had that kind of atmosphere, I felt.
Fans looked at it as a fun game, and Giovanni said it was a fun game to coach, too. They give Loader the continuation. And Orono retakes the lead. The Spartans have scored the last 6.
It's strange, yesterday Orono just looked all out of sorts with their half-court offense, but today they've really come to play.
Well, that's the beauty of a back-to-back holiday invitational. Haack will go to the line. Gabi Haack gave Giovanni a plentiful amount of words to describe her. Sets the tone vocally and as a playmaker.
5'9", but she plays bigger than 5'9", in my humble opinion.
And I've seen prolific scorers, Carly Wagner, Rebecca Dahlman, but they usually have a history of doing so. Haack, remember, was a supporting figure, so didn't score as much, didn't need to with Abby Scheid. Here she is stepping up. Elk River adjusting their offense to account for not having a post figure like Scheid, and Haack is thriving. Hughes lost control of the pass. Loader recovers. And you heard Glover, as Haack deflects it away, grab the ball, don't dribble it. And you could hear that all the way up here.
Yeah.
Andrew can't get it off the window. And the rebound to Wentland. 22-21. Ava Kramer drives too strong. Lockmiller can't get the putback. And Lockmiller will be called for the foul as Smarin tumbled down. And that should put Orono to the free throw line. No, it's a 6th foul.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 7th.
Yeah, they're out of fouls to give here in this first half. 2:21, though. I don't think there'll be too terribly significant, but we'll see.
Park Center and Minnetonka will resume their annual series following this game. A matchup that has a significantly different flavor than a year ago. Hughes, too strong. Smarin controls it, in trouble, and threw it up and was able to get Person on the foul.
Good job by Smarin hanging in there in a boatload of traffic down low there in the paint. Somehow she got that shot up and now gets to go to the charity stripe to make the most of this opportunity.
Well, as Glover once said about her, if Smarin wants it, she gets it.
And she got it there.
In fact, Glover's mother believes that Smarin is a better rebounder than her own daughter was.
Wow.
Smarin splits there. She's up to 5 points.
And a turnover. No, wait a minute.
Backcourt violation.
Backcourt violation, okay.
You're not going to fault that, though, on a hustle play. So Elk River will keep it. Wentland drives. Loader shuts her down.
I tell you, Loader's been everywhere.
Double dribble violation. And if you can hear what Glover is saying, it's emblematic of her personality. A big teddy bear when she's not coaching, but extremely serious when she's roaming the sidelines. Haack missing the three. Elk River in a scoring drought. Orono has scored the last 8. Looking to make it 10, and they will. Elena Eichstad hits the baseline jumper.
Well, good recognition by Loader, getting the outlet pass out there in the left corner.
Haack off the screen. Orono reads it well. Now Haack sees a lane and makes the most of it.
She uses her body so well to drive to the hoop.
And has a high IQ as well. Park Center concentrated their defense on her yesterday, and Elk River adjusted beautifully. Orono appears they will hold for the final shot with 30 seconds left in the first half. Or not. They're going to go high-low instead. And why not when Smarin
sure
has the advantage down low. Smarin up to 7. Orono on a 12-2 run. Haack for 3. Bullseye. 5 seconds. Andrew, that's good if it goes. Ooh. Almost.
Good try.
27-26 our score after the first half. A tight game. A lot of strategy, and for Orono, it's a nice bounce back after yesterday.
Well, that's what I was just going to point out, Mike. Yesterday, they just struggled mightily against Champlin Park and their half-court offense. Nobody seemed to know what they were doing, and today has just been a total turnaround. And you have to give both Smarin and Loader a lot of credit. They've really battled hard down low, and it's paid off.
And for Elk River, Gabi Haack started to find a rhythm late in the first half. She's up to 11 points, and if she catches fire, look out.
Yeah, exactly. And give a lot of credit, too, to Ava Kramer. She helped get this Elk River offense going with some nice layups and some shots, and she's done a good job defensively as well, I think.
And although Abe is encapsulated with our stream of consciousness commentary, we do have to go to break. But we'll take you to the one-on-one interview I had with Gabi Haack of Elk River and come back with first-half stats and analysis. You're watching the Park Center Holiday Invitational. Orono leads Elk River 27-26. And I'm here with Gabi Haack of the Elk River Elks. And Gabi, 9-0 start this season, and I'm not sure if you were expecting this entering this year without Abby Scheid leading the way, but what do you make of this undefeated start of yours?
Yeah, we've started off really strong with our first win against Lakeville North. They're a good team. We just kind of use that energy to keep playing our game. And I mean, I've never really had this successful of a season to start off with being undefeated, but I don't know. It's just we've been playing really well together, and we've been sharing the ball, and I don't know, we've just been playing very well.
Maybe you saw what the Lynx did going 12-0 to start the year and figured, hey, we can match that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Abby was a big key to our game last year, and I knew this year it would be different without her, but we really had some people step up this year, and we've just really played together well, and I think that's a big key to our success.
And it would be an understatement to say you're one of those folks who stepped up, averaging 30.5. You're second in the state in scoring. Where did you find this offensive spark plug of yours?
Well, I knew this year with Abishai being gone, she was our big scorer last year. I knew I needed to step it up this year, and I really worked in the off season to try and get my shots off and work on posting up, and I don't know, I've just been looking to score, and because I knew we needed someone on our team to step up, and I just knew I needed to be that person.
What got you into the sport of basketball? Do you recall your first memory?
Yeah, my dad, he played basketball in high school, and he coached me when I was, I think, in kindergarten and all the way up until 8th grade, and he just really had a big impact on me, and I've just always loved the game. So he introduced me to the game, and it just stuck with me.
What is it about the sport that attracts you, that makes it fun to be a part of?
I mean, I don't really know, but I mean, a lot of the people I played with, and just the game, it's just fun. I just always have fun with it, and I really don't know how to describe it, but.
What are some of the memories that you've developed along the way? You know, you're getting to play with someone like Abby, having the year you are now, but just some things that stand out that you were glad you got to witness thanks to your participation.
Yeah, I mean, the River Battle, that's our tournament our game with Rogers every year. We've won that all 4 years. When I was in 8th grade, travel, we won state, and that's with some of the girls that are on the team currently. And just a lot of the friendships I've made throughout the high school years and travel years, it's just been, I don't know, they're unbreakable, and I've made a lot of memories. It's hard to say all of them, but.
And what are your plans after this year? Because you'll get that diploma, and what are you looking at in terms of college?
Yeah, I verbally committed to play at Bradley University, which is in Peoria, Illinois, to play basketball there. And then, I mean, I'm undecided on a major or anything, but hopefully I'll figure it out, when I get there. But
you've got a little while to settle on a major, so you're going to follow Abby Scheid in the D1 pathway.
Yep, It's always been my dream to play Division I basketball, and just blessed to have that opportunity.
Who is your role model in the sport of basketball? Can be anybody. Men, women, dogs, cats.
I mean, my dad has always had a huge impact with me, or being my role model. But I mean, Abby Scheid's also been one of my role models. Like, she's one of my best friends, and I've just always looked up to her. And also my coach, Matt Stieber, he's a role model, but he's also had like a huge impact on me with being my coach. And I have many role models, but those are just a few.
What's going to be the hardest part about making that transition from Elk River to Bradley?
Probably just, I know that the pace will definitely be different with stepping up from high school to Division I basketball, so that will be definitely a thing I'll have to deal with. But also I feel like it's going to be hard with not having all my friends here and back at home, but I think it'll be fun, and it'll all work out.
And if you need any advice, you can probably hit up Abby for some, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to say hi to that will watch this game?
My mom and dad probably, but they'll be here, but I mean, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they won't mind a shout out.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk a little bit about yourself and show us a little bit of your background. A lot of exciting times are ahead, and hopefully you can go 10-0 today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Gabi Haack of Elk River, you're watching the Park Center Holiday Invitational. A very enlightening conversation I had with Gabi Haack as Alex Nagel and I rejoin you here at Brooklyn Park for the Park Center Holiday Invitational. Orono leads Elk River 27-26. Leading scorers for Elk River, it's Gabi Haack with 11 points. As you noted, Ava Kramer got things going early. She has 7. Orono led by 10 points from Madeline Loader, 7 from Natalie Smarin. Tori Andrew also has 7 points. The key, I believe, for Elk River is what Gabi Haack will do. She has 11 right now, but if she gets on a run in the second half, Elk River will have a huge bastion of support available.
Well, absolutely, Mike, and if she does just that, Elk River has an advantage right there. Let's see what happens here in the opening moments here of this second half.
Elk River looking to extend their undefeated start at 9-0. Orono trying to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the year to Champlain Park, and look out! Players tumbling everywhere. Elk River recovers, and Person can't hit the short-range floater. Wentland can't get the putback.
Spartans dodge a bullet there.
Loader, mid-range. That's strong. Person with the rebound. High-octane first half. Haack beats Smarin to the rim.
Just a perfect combination of touch and balance by Haack.
Elk River showing pressure. Orono breaks it, and Anna Hughes with an easy layup. Lockmiller can't beat the double team, and Jordan Case comes up with it. Loader with the bounce to Andrew. She's on the line. Misses the two. High carom goes to Hughes. Orono with a new possession. And Haack deflects it away from Andrew.
I'll tell you, like I said, for a guard, she certainly doesn't play widely. She plays more like a small forward.
Loader, top of the key, swish. Loader goes up to 13 points. And Orono takes a 32-28 lead.
Oh.
Gabi Haack with the answer.
Just like you were saying, Mike.
1 point game. Hughes kicks back out. Loader fakes the three. Case thought about it and said dishes to Loader. Andrew, the high skip.
Oh.
And Lockmiller blocks Smarin. Kramer kicks out to Lockmiller. And Orono collapses on the inside. Wentland open, and she dumps it in.
And just like that, the Elks are in the lead, 33-32.
What a fun game we're seeing between a top 10 team in 3A and 4A. Two schools looking to make a dent in the state tournament. Loader misses the triple that time. Hughes with the rebound, but she throws it right into the hands of Kramer, and Hughes fouls her. I should say Andrew fouls her. Now, you know about your preference for Pepsi over Coca-Cola. I bring that up because Madeline Loader, who hit the last three for Orono, prefers Adidas over Nike when it comes to basketball shoes. I don't know what you like, but...
Well, I'm a Nike guy myself.
You're a Nike guy? Abe is a Dr. Pepper drinker.
Even though UCLA has been an Adidas team and they just made the switch to Under Armour.
See, our strategy is just to plug as many companies as we can, and maybe one of them will call me up for a sponsorship. That's my strategy to all of this. Haack finds Person, and she bobbles the pass.
Tried to move, but she really got a good handle on the ball.
And that cost Elk River a chance at an open shot.
Yep.
But they do lead 33-32 over the Orono Spartans.
Oops.
Dive for the loose ball results in a jump. Orono with the arrow. And Orono, who was undefeated until yesterday, possession now actually favors Elk River. Glover wasn't necessarily expecting that, and I don't think DeGiovanni is that conceited to believe that he was going to win every game either.
Yeah.
And going to what you said in the first half just shows you the experience and the culture these schools have cultivated. Kramer fakes the three, drives, can't hit the mid-range shot. Smerin with the rebound. The transition for both was rather smooth.
Ooh. Some contact there, but no foul call.
It will stay with Orono. Loader's thinking about it. And she averages nearly 15 a game. So she's capable of putting in points when necessary. As is Andrew. Loses it on the way up. Haack, look out!
A good job by Smerin there, getting that loose ball.
And that will be a foul on Elk River.
Talk about Loader. Head coach Lavisa Glover says, I get on her the most, but she always takes it in stride.
And there are some players who respond well to that. Loader, spin move, almost wedged it. And another foul underneath, this time on Lockmiller. But there are some players who coaches understand you can get on them hard and they won't take it personally.
Yeah.
Cheryl Reeve is another example. She gets really hard on her players at Minnesota, and none of them seem to mind. Actually, most of them prefer it. Andrew, step back three.
Oh.
Banks it in. Their second tray. That makes it 35-33. Wentland can't get the bounce. A 12-2 run gave Orono the lead to end the first half.
Oh, wow.
And they're on the march here. Natalie Smerin, she goes up to 9. And Giovanni is going to call a timeout, it appears. Well, not yet, but if Orono scores again, I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Well, let's see if Elk River can respond here. Oh, my, look at that. Gabi
And if there's
Haack.
anyone who can respond, it's Gabi Haack.
Well, and Elk River was exactly in the same position last night. They got down early in the second half, and they responded. Very resilient.
You don't get to 9-0 without resiliency. Haack up to 18 points. Smerin held the ball high up. Kramer tried the poke. Andrew into a triple team. Hughes pads her rebounding and point totals. Excels at soccer, but Glover will often put Hughes on the opposing team's best player. Orono having a phenomenal soccer team. Won state a couple years ago in Class A. Deep three for Haack. Pure!
My goodness.
And DeGiovanni does call a timeout, even though Elk River down by 1. I don't think he likes the defensive efficiency the Elks have showed recently.
You know, there was a part of me, Mike, coming into this game today that couldn't help but wonder if maybe, just maybe, Elk River might be a little flat coming into this contest today after the tough win against Park Center last night. There may have been reason to think that early on, but I don't see that now.
Well, they've been a strong group for years, even though they don't have the state tournament appearances to show for it. I don't think they're going to get too worried about one particular opponent. But Park Center, in terms of rankings, was their highest quality matchup to this point. Most of their games have been runaway wins. So Park Center and Orono giving them two considerable tests. They'll go to Anoka to start to continue Northwest Suburban play on January 6th.
That'll be a good game.
And they will host St. Michael Albertville in their lone meeting on January 13th. A sectional game, but one of many that could give us an idea on who will be the favorite to get that state tournament berth. As you know, STMA has owned Section 8 for years. Jordan Case, short on the 3. STMA owning Section 8, Elk River looking to change that narrative. Haack, nice baseline drive. Gabi Haack is taking over.
And she really has such good balance once she gets up into the air.
She has 12 points already in the second half, 23 overall. And Elk River retakes the lead. Andrew goes up, no bounce, and that's going to be a foul on the push-off. Gabi Haack's takeover gene reminds me of Andrea Adams from last year. Someone who might be quiet for a time, might lull you to sleep, and then hits you hard. Ava Kramer drives and scores.
Picking where she left
Elk
off.
River on a run here in this back and forth affair, 42-39. Smarin almost lost it. Andrew guarded by Haack. And the entry pass was too high.
Going for Smarin on that. I don't know if there was some miscommunication there or she simply got the ball up too high.
Kramer to Haack. Lockmiller has it. Back to Kramer. Lockmiller's open. She'll fire.
Bam.
Swish. That's good for 3. And it's a 6-point lead for the Elks.
Critical juncture here, I think, for Orono. Down 6. They don't want to get this thing too far out of hand.
Smarin banks it in
right
off
there.
the feed from Andrew.
Exactly the answer they needed.
And Smarin chipping in nicely. She has 11. Kramer off the screen, sees a lane, and will shoot 2.
Good job by Kramer making that drive and getting the contact.
We mentioned her speediness in the first half. She's also added a hesitation move, which is so critical when you have a quick first step like Kramer does. Averaging 11.1, as we noted.
I'd say if there's one thing that Elk River needs to improve as she gets the back end, they need to improve their free throw shooting a little bit. They missed a few front ends coming down the stretch last night that could have cost them.
They're 3 of 7, although they do lead by 5, thanks to Gabi Haack.
Good
Elk
defensive
River
play by
gets the steal. Haack in transition. This is dangerous. Too strong. Lockmiller's there for the cleanup.
Just like that, the lead gets stretched to 7.
And Lockmiller pads her total to 9. The Elk River run continues. Loader for 3. That's strong. Lockmiller skips it over to Haack.
Oh!
And Haack contorts her way to the free throw line after drawing the foul on Andrew.
The thing about Gabi Haack, what impresses me so much is that once she gets up in the air, she's got such good upper body strength that she can get that shot off and have a good chance of having that ball drop. And not every player can do that.
Following this game, we mentioned Elk River's schedule. Champlain Park, they get a pair of games with them. That should be a fun one. And a pair of games with Centennial. And there's a timeout for Lavisa Glover as she sees her Spartans trail by 9. So Elk River's going to get some high-quality conference play, and then they will go to Minnetonka on February 10th.
Looks like they do have a return day here at Park Center on the 14th.
Which is reminiscent of Minnetonka last year, who
Yeah.
had 2 games at this very gym.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a fun game. Actually,
Oh,
a
that
lot of
will
great
be.
games that night. Edina hosting Holy Angels that night as well.
I'm looking
So-
forward. I'm looking forward to that game at Anoka on Friday, January the 6th. That could be a really good one.
So a lot of great options for basketball that night. That's what's hard when you're a basketball fan like Alex and I are. Too many good matchups. I mean, Edina Holy Angels is going to be a fun one too.
Oh boy.
On that one. Orono, after this, they will host Wayzata, team hovering around the top 10 in 4A. And then they play Hutchinson, as you know, members of the Wright County Conference, so they get 2 games against each other, and all indications suggest those 2 schools will battle for the state tournament berth again. There is a deep, heated rivalry between those two schools. Every game is intense.
And you know, you talk about that Orono team that made it to state 2 years ago and got to the semifinals before they lost to Park Center.
I thought it was Marshall who beat them 2 years ago. Because Park Center played Marshall. I think Park Center, that was it 2 years ago? I forget who they beat, but I thought Orono beat Marshall, or Marshall beat Orono. What difference does it make? Park Center won the tournament, and that's what matters. Here's another fun fact about Orono that should matter to everyone. As you know, these students are highly involved in the surrounding community. They recently did a fundraiser for the Unified, which lends support to the Special Olympics. Loader will shoot 2. And that fundraiser included a dance marathon, I might add.
Very involved in the community, the Orono program is.
Glover says a lot of the Spartans speak like adults and it freaks her out. And Glover and I are about the same age.
Well, down 9. Well, they're down 8 now, but this is where Orono has to show some resolve.
Loader, the liaison for the younger athletes on this Orono team, who embraced Glover as emphatically as they did with Ellen Weesey. Loader up to 15 points, 7-point game with 8.5 to play. Haack too soft, but she gets her own rebound, and we'll go back to the line.
And that's what I mean when I talk about Gabi Haack. She's so strong down low. She doesn't really play like a guard.
Bradley will have an undiscovered stud of sorts. As again, we were glossing so much over last year's senior class, and for good reason, that folks like Gabi Haack, you almost would forget about her. But she's making sure we don't. Elk River still struggling from the free throw line, but they do have an 8-point lead, and Haack is up to 26 points. Loader, too strong. Haack with the rebound.
Here she goes.
She's going to beat her coverage and go all the way.
Wow. Just like that, the lead at 10 now as we hit the 8-minute mark.
Haack showing acceleration on that last drive. And
here she is again.
Will we get an encore? Not this time. But Wendland recovers and lays it in. And Elk River with their largest lead of the game at 12. Orono bewildered on how to handle a speedy sniper like Haack.
Ava Kramer almost got that one.
They're reading passing lanes, showing their up-tempo ability. And Orono stuck having to fire long-range shots. And Andrew not on the floor right now. She'll sub in following the next whistle. Loader takes it herself as she curls away to the basket. Well, Loader is having herself a nice game with 17.
Well, they needed that one right there. Something, anything to stymie this Elk River onslaught.
Wendland missed, offensive rebound. Person goes up, can't bounce it in, and it will stay with the Elks.
Person, the lanky 6-foot junior.
And here comes Tori Andrew. 6:44 left, and this is the time where Tori Andrew needs to turn it on if Orono wants to bounce back. Wendland, dribble drive, no good. Hughes receives the bounce pass from Loader. No foul called.
Goodness.
And they're going to call Hughes on the reach-in.
Hughes only had one in hand in there. She got the worst of it. Smarin gets a breather for Orono.
Haack,
Oh my goodness.
once again, finds a way to get to the free throw line. She can score, she's crafty.
She's strong too.
I've got a feeling we'll be seeing her at the All-Star Series in April.
I would hope so.
All-Star Series at Carleton High School, or Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota, first weekend of April. Have to plug that because Alex and I have had the pleasure of calling the last two All-Star events. Haack making both, and she's up to 30, which matches her average. Andrew feeds inside. Orono swings it around. Loader can't hit the triple. And Elk River, they're on their way as Lockmiller fires the open three and hits.
Nice game for Lockmiller here this afternoon.
Elk River well on their way to staying undefeated. And just like last night, they were challenged by Park Center but persevered. And that's what the top teams do. Andrew goes up and scores. That puts her up to 12. But Orono's going to need a lot more out of her and the rest of their players if they want to come back. Elk River's defense, deceptively cunning. But Orono reads a pass. That was number 30 with the steal.
Andrew looking for that room, that space.
That's a traveling violation.
Yeah. She wanted to try a three.
Elk River making sure that didn't happen. Again, that's what great defenses do. They frustrate the other team's top player. Kramer goes up. Can't get that one to fall. And Person will shoot two. Monia Person doesn't score much, 3.5 points.
Filling in for Kelsey Cox with that jammed thumb today.
And Cox averages nearly 9 a game, so she's an integral part of this team. And
headed to Jamestown, Kelsey Cox is.
And I have a feeling Cox will return before long, and when she does, how this Elk River team will handle the likes of Hopkins and ECU, I mean, that's likely going to determine their fate. They won't get to see them this year in the schedule, but if you can get to state, you may have to face one of those teams. As Person splits. But in order to be the best, you have to beat the best, as the cliche goes. And that cliche holds a degree of truth, maybe two. Foul on Elk River. They have 2 to give now.
I think that's going to go on to Lockmiller.
Well, Alex, I have to give you credit for your premonition once more. You called the LA Sparks winning in 5. They did just that. You mentioned Elk River was going to be a team to watch in the Northwest Suburban. And even though Orono is not a conference opponent, they're proving why.
They have the tools, that's for sure.
Andrew, tough shot, couldn't hit the fadeaway. Haack is going to try to play facilitator now. Wetland couldn't receive the pass cleanly. And the younger Haack misses a 3. And Elk River scrapping for more offensive rebounds. Haack can't get the bounce. Lydia Haack, that is. And Ellen Nihat, number 30, with the rebound.
And you know, the one thing that you always look at with two programs such as these with new coaches, you wonder sometimes how well they adjust to a new system. But I think both of these programs are doing just fine.
The Giovanni had the familiarity being here before taking a job up north for the last couple of years. Orono, it's a brand new look. And Ellen Weesey helped build this program, and How is she doing at St. Thomas?
Well, I think she's doing pretty well. She's fit into Rusin's program quite nicely, and Tommies are on a roll, just like we thought they would be.
They usually are. It doesn't hurt when your new job is with a well-established program like St. Thomas is.
No, that doesn't hurt at all.
And Rusin, for a time, was a scout for the Sparks way back when. As Smarin shows a turnaround flair. I have to connect everything. Everything is cyclical. Sin wasn't a scout this year when the Sparks won the championship, but she enjoyed going to those games and not having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Steal by Orono.
Kramer, what defensive.
Ava Kramer pokes another one away, and Loader fouls Wentland. Orono in the penalty.
I'll tell you what, Ava Kramer's going to wreak a lot of havoc in the Northwest Suburban Conference this winter, Mike.
Elk River, they impressed me last year when I covered this event. They knocked off Eden Prairie, and they're going to come away with 2 wins against top 10 teams, 1 in 4A, 1 in 3A. The free throws leave more to be desired, but when you're up by 13, you're not going to worry about it too much. And Tori Andrews had a tough performance out there. She'll get 2 following the offensive rebound, but Elk River doing a good job cutting her off.
Yeah.
But she has the capability of making her teammates better and showing more initiative on defense.
I think that's going to be the key for them going forward as they move into their conference schedule.
And they'll get Edina on January 10th as they go on the road. Edina, a top 10 team. You know them as a school that likes to play it slow.
Yep.
But they have a good chance of getting to state this year in their section, in Section 2. Hawk missed. He's human after all. Jump ball, Elk River with the arrow. But the 2 dates that everyone is going to circle, if you follow the right county, are the games with Hutchinson. And Hutchinson will be making a trip to the Metro on Martin Luther King Day to continue the annual St. Catherine MLK event hosted by Minnesota Fury AAU program. Andrew fires the 3. Just not her game today. She has 13 points, but couldn't find her shot. But part of that can be attributed to the stingy Elk River defense.
They really upped their game here in the second half, Mike, when things were still tight.
Just like they did last night against Park Center. And the fun part is they get to play Park Center again. Andrew drives, a microcosm of her day.
Gets it down to 10, but with 1:45 left.
Well, she's still going for it. No reason to give up here. Ava Kramer can't get the drive. Ornell's still going to play as if it's the first possession. And Andrew draws the blocking foul on Wentland. Elk River had a foul to give.
Of course, then again, we remember what happened to you and I against Texas A&M in the NCAA tournament this last March.
You keep going back to that, don't you? Or Wabasso Red Lake, 1997. Red Lake trailed by 14 with just over a minute to play. They forced overtime.
Jeez.
Loader will go to the free throw line. We mentioned Loader's preference for Adidas over Nike. Some other fun facts involving the Orono team. Natalie Smarin, when she's not playing basketball, teaches swim lessons.
Yeah.
And Tori Andrew, when she's not draining three-pointers, as Wentland fouls out of the game. Tori Andrew enjoys reading. She didn't say what books. And as much as we have praised Gabi Haack, we have to give some props to Madeline Loader. As Elk River calls timeout, they had 3 remaining.
Got it back in the single digits here.
128, so Orono still has a chance. Not a great one, but Madeline Loader, 19 points. You got to give her props for doing what she could to keep Orono hanging around in this one.
Well, and you like that player. I mean, she's done a lot here this afternoon, and just a junior, she's still got a lot to prove, and I think she's only going to get better.
Madeline Loader, the junior.
Head coach Lavessa Glover jokes that Loader can play the 1-4, which is a big deal.
And you see that a lot. A lot of coaches will tell you their players can play 1 through 4, and I can't always make accurate assumptions. Yeah. Although it was Glover who told me that Andrew is one of the best shots, and she said she wanted my opinion afterward. And one game is not enough for me to make an accurate analysis of Andrew's game.
Yeah.
But this is a team that will be a threat. Weesey built up the program, Ellen Weesey, and through that success came wins, a bond with their youth program. There's more to it than just the number of state tournaments they've appeared in.
Well, if you can vary anywhere from point guard to power forward, that's pretty good.
Elk River in transition as Orono put on the pressure defense, and Madison Luthold gets on the board.
She got some minutes last night as well.
That should just about do it. Andrew trying to break free. Unable to do so. Elk River would not let her go. And that's what great defenses do. So Elk River will stay undefeated, and looking ahead at the schedule, it is conceivable that they could finish that way. Of course, you've got another game with Park Center and 2 games with Centennial, the number 3 team in Class 4A.
Well,
and all of this shows you how competitive the Northwest Suburban is.
I know I've said this more than once,
and
but
you'll say it again.
I still feel the Northwest Suburban Conference is the best conference out there.
They have a lot of great teams. The Suburban East is on the rise. Of course, Hopkins is the standard bearer, Eastview right behind them. But if you look at conferences as a whole, Northwest Suburban and Suburban East, to me, are the 2 that have the most talent spread around.
Right.
The question is, will any of them be able to take on the powers of Hopkins and Eastview, your 2 most recent 4A champions?
Yeah.
We're in stat padding time here as Luthold fires the front end of a 1-1, cannot do so.
And you know, the thing about the Northwest Suburban is you have so many teams beating up on each other.
You saw Champlain Park.
They're
Madeline
very
Loader
impressive.
up to 21. And having that kind of balance will aid Orono as they continue their season in the Wright County.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say something. No, I think Orono will be fine.
Sometimes no words are necessary.
No, I think Orono will be fine. You know, I think there's a few kinks here and there to work out, but they've got all the pieces in place. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Well, they were off to a good start. They won their first 8 games. And most of them in convincing fashion. So it would be dangerous to discard Orono over a couple of losses here against 2 high-quality teams. Andrew drains the Rainbow 3. So that will give her 18 points to wrap up this game. And Elk River will get out of here with their 10th win as they stay undefeated. The final is 65-59. Gabi Haack performed as we thought she might in the second half. Finishes with 31 points, 20 in the second half. And she was a big influence in Elk River's big run in the second.
There's just not enough superlatives out there, Mike, for Gabi Haack. I mean, she's just such a fantastic player on both ends of the floor, and she's so strong, too.
She doesn't need any superlatives because I'll give you a fitting one right here, 31 points.
Wow.
I'd say that's descriptive enough.
Yep.
We'll try to get a word with Gabi Haack as we wrap things up from our first game here at the Park Center Holiday Invitational. Elk River stays undefeated. 65-59 is your final. And I'm joined again by Gabi Haack, who is probably sick of me by now, but you're not sick of scoring. 31 points. You had 20 in the second half. Reminiscent of last night, Orono gave you a challenge. You adjusted, responded, and came out with a big win.
Yeah, today we played really well. I don't know, we just played our game again, and we moved the ball. Tori played really good defense on me, so we just really had to move the ball to other people. And there's a lot of people on our team who can shoot, and we hit the open shots. I don't know, we just played another good game.
And speaking of Tori, you were equally impressive against her in the second half on defense. How did you shut her down?
You know, I just kind of did what the Park Center did to me yesterday, just stay in her face, keep a hand up, because I know she can shoot. She shoots from a couple steps back from the three. She can really shoot from anywhere, so I just knew I needed to keep a hand in her face, get over the screens, and just kind of do what they did to me yesterday.
Where did you find that speed? There were a couple of plays where you just turned on the afterburners and made your way to the basket.
I mean, that's another big part of my game is just looking up the floor, and I see no one's ahead of me, so I just try and get to the basket.
Are you on the track team?
No.
You should be.
Thank you.
10-0 now. We talked about this undefeated start of yours. How do you make sure that the record doesn't interfere with what you're trying to do? Because you know, everyone knows there's still a lot of games left to be played and a lot of good Northwest Suburban teams along the way.
I mean, it is like cool and over undefeated, but I mean, we just have to go into every game with not really thinking about our record. We just know that we need to win this game, and we need to do what we need to do to win that game. So I mean, the record is really cool, but I mean, we just try not to let that be like our only motivation or whatever. And
you mentioned your helpers. You got quite a bit of it from Lockmiller and Wentland. How vital are they to helping you do what you're able to do?
They're a big key. They're really good on defense and offense. I mean, they both can shoot, so if someone's tight on me, I can just look to them to kick, and they can just hit that shot.
And I know you gave a shout out to your parents when we spoke a couple hours ago. Is there anyone that you miss that you want to say hello to?
Shout out to Matt Stieber, if you're watching this. I don't know if he is. But.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I've had a lot of folks tell me they watch all my games, so I'm sure this tape will find its way to him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win, and I know you'll be coming back here in a month and a half to play Park Center again, okay. So at least that's what's on the schedule, so maybe you'll get a repeat, but enjoy the rest of the calendar year and enjoy this 10-0 start.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Gabi Haack once more from Elk River. Another game coming your way, Park Center, Minnetonka, but until then, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.